if you're interested in seeing a ridiculous birthday book haul and not judging me, then just keep watching. Okay, today is the day I'm going to be sharing my ridiculously large book haul for my birthday. My birthday was April 12th, so I've been waiting for these packages to come in. I had placed a couple different orders. Plus, I had gone shopping in store on my birthday. I got birthday money. That's why I bought all of these books, because I had birthday money. And I'm going to be fully transparent. There's still 4 books on the way, but I wanted to just go ahead and do this video. I'll just show those books to you in a different video at some point. But I am so excited. If you're new here, hi, my name is Danielle. I'm so glad that you decided to stop by my channel, and I hope you'll enjoy what you see and want to stick around. Definitely leave me a comment down below, say hello, tell me a little bit about yourself. I love to get to know people. That's the best part of having a channel, because otherwise it's just me basically talking to myself. So I can do that not on camera and not embarrass myself. So at least if you interact with me, it makes it a little less embarrassing, I guess. But yeah, I cannot wait to show you what I got. So I'm going to just lift this up and show it to you. So this is what we're working with right now. I should make sure that my address is not being displayed for the world. No, it's not. Okay, I have 2 boxes here from Book Outlet. I've got an Amazon package, and then I have some books that I bought in store, and actually one book that a friend sent me for my birthday as a surprise. And then, yeah, and like I said, I have 4 more books on the way, but I'll just show those to you at a different time. But this is what we're going to be getting into for this video. So let's just do it. Okay, this is hilarious. I had to go look back at my first Book Outlet order, because I'm like, I don't remember ordering this book, but I did. So it's been a while since I got here, and I just now opened it. So I'm like, okay, I guess I must have wanted to check it out. It's part of a series. I'll show it to you in a little bit, but okay. First, we're going to get into, we went on my actual birthday. My husband took me, and we went to a store called Second and Charles. Now, I didn't even know we had one of these in our state, let alone within like an hour of me. And so we went there first, and it's like a used bookstore, but they also have new things. And I'll throw in a couple little clips here because they're very brief, because I was so in awe of this place that I kind of forgot to record. But here's a couple little clips for you to get a little idea of what it's like. So I think we spent about 2 hours in there. I could have spent so much more time, but my husband is not a reader, and he was being so gracious to just sit in there and try to look at things and whatever while I was shopping. So I thank him for that. But I did end up picking up a few books while we were there, and I'm really excited about them. Obviously, that's why I bought them. Except for that one book that was in my Goodreads. I keep saying Goodreads order. In my Book Outlet order that I don't remember ordering. I mean, I'm still excited about it. Anyway, so first off, I have wanted this, and when I saw it there and saw the price for it, I was like, I am totally nabbing this right now. It is The Phantom of the Opera. I have wanted to read this. I've never actually read the book. I have seen The Phantom of the Opera. I saw it at the Fantages Theater in Toronto when I was in high school. I've been out of high school for a little while, okay? And I absolutely loved it. My sister and I used to like drive our parents crazy because we had the soundtrack, and we would listen to it like in the car on a CD and just sing away. So I was like, you know what? I actually want to read the book that is based off of. And so I found this, and it was $1.95. $1.95. And it honestly doesn't even look like it's ever been read. So I'm definitely going to be getting into that. We'll just make this kind of a long video, and I'll read you the jackets of the book. Filled with the spectacle of the Paris Opera House in the 19th century, this classic work of suspense remains a riveting journey into the dark regions of the human heart. The tale begins as an investigation into the strange stories of an opera ghost, legendary for scaring performers as they sit alone in their dressing rooms or walk along the building's labyrinthine corridors. Some even think they've seen the ghost in evening clothes moving in the shadows. But it isn't until the triumphant performance of beautiful soprano Christine, I already forgot what her name is. How do you say Day? I don't know. Christine Day? I don't know. That's terrible. Anyway, that the Phantom begins his attacks, striking terror in the hearts of everyone in the theater. A story that has captured the imagination for a century, The Phantom of the Opera continues to this day to be an unparalleled work of sheer entertainment. So looking forward to reading this. Also, I will mention, I had asked ahead of time if people had any book suggestions, like for my birthday, if I was going to go treat myself to something, are there certain books or certain authors that people would recommend? So if one of these books I'm talking about, or a particular author, and that's why I got the book, is because of a recommendation from someone, I'm going to put their name on the screen. And then also if they have a channel, I'm going to link it down below so that you can check them out. And that's just a fun way for me to be able to thank them for giving me a suggestion. And so, yeah, I can't remember exactly right now off the top of my head, but I have it written down. So I will pop those on the screen and in the description box. You can check them out. But this is a Frida McFadden. I have read now the first 2 Housemaid books and love them. Now I've heard mixed reviews on some of her other books, but this is one of her older ones. So I'm hoping this is another good one, because it seems like the more recent ones that people are maybe not as thrilled with. And this one is called The Perfect Son. Erica Cass has a perfect family and a perfect life until the evening when 2 detectives show up at her front door. A high school girl has vanished from Erica's quiet suburban neighborhood. The police suspect the worst, an unaliving. And Erica's teenage son, Liam, was the last person to see the girl alive. Erica has always sensed something dark and disturbed in her seemingly perfect older child. She wants to believe he's innocent, but as the evidence mounts, she can't deny the truth. Liam may have done the unthinkable. Now she must ask herself, how far will she go to protect her son? Oh, like, ugh, can you even imagine? I hope not. But this was $3.25, so I thought I would give it a try, and we'll see what I think of it. I also have not read any Riley Sager yet. Who am I? And so I picked this one up. Actually, this was the only one that they had, funny enough, in the used section. So I figured I would check it out. It is called Final Girls. 10 years ago, 6 friends went on vacation. One made it out alive. In that instant, college student Quincy Carpenter became a member of a very exclusive club, a group of survivors the press dubbed the Final Girls. Lisa, who lost 9 sorority sisters to a college dropout's knife, Sam, who endured the sack man during her shift at the Nightlight Inn, and now Quincy, who ran bleeding through the woods to escape the massacre at Pine Cottage. Despite the media's attempts, the 3 girls have never met. Now, Quincy is doing well, maybe even great, thanks to her Xanax prescription. She has a caring almost fiancé, a popular baking blog, a beautiful apartment, and a therapeutic presence in Coop, the police officer who saved her life. Her mind won't let her recall the events of that night. The past is in the past. Until the first final girl is found unalived in her bathtub, and the second final girl appears on Quincy's doorstep. Blowing through Quincy's life like a hurricane, Sam seems intent on making her relive the trauma of her ordeal. When disturbing details about Lisa's death emerge, Quincy desperately tries to unravel Sam's truths from her lies while evading both the police and bloodthirsty reporters. Quincy knows that in order to survive, she has to remember what really happened at Pine Cottage, because the only thing worse than being a final girl is being a dead one. That sounds pretty dang good. And so, yep, we'll find out. Oh, and that was $5.95 for this one. So this one was a little bit more, but still $6. I can handle that. And this is in like pristine condition. So since they are used books, some of them are a little more roughed up than others, and the prices do reflect that in the store. So like there might be several of the same book, but ones that are a little more, used will be cheaper. So that's kind of cool. And then this one was definitely a recommendation, and I've heard so many good things about it. So this is The Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides. Yep. Anyway, Alicia Berenson's life is seemingly perfect until one night when her husband Gabriel returns home late from work and Alicia him 5 times in the face and then never speaks another word. Alicia's refusal to talk or give any explanation turns a domestic tragedy into a mystery that captures the public imagination, and she, the silent patient, is hidden away from the tabloids at the Grove, a secure psychiatric unit in North London. Criminal psychotherapist Theo Faber is captivated by Alicia's story and jumps at the opportunity to work with her. His determination to get her to talk and unravel the mystery of why she, her husband, will take him down a path more unexpected and more terrifying than he ever imagined. I have heard that this book is so good from so many people. So I'm like, what am I waiting for? I need to read this. So I found this for $8.95. And again, that was a little more than, the other ones, but still $9. Again, I think this one is brand new, never been, even read. So I'm definitely down for paying $9 for it. So those were the 4 books that I got from there. And then I also got this bookmark because it's so nerdy and so me, and I love it. And it says, "Don't be stressing, life's a blessing." And it's just like super cute, the little picture on it. And then it's got a little tassel and little bead thing there. But, oh, it's even got a little snail on the back. But yeah, I just thought it was really cute, and I thought I should get, and it's like a hefty bookmark too. It's nice and thick, shit thick. So I am glad to have a cute little bookmark. And that was my haul from Second and Charles. So funny enough, I think the book, The Silent Patient, I'm pretty sure, was a recommendation from my friend Heather. And then I got this package in the mail. I was waiting. I had ordered a book from Amazon, and it showed up like 2 days earlier than I thought I was going to. I'm like, well, that's weird. But my husband got something, so I'm like, maybe they just put them together instead of sending the ones separate days because our accounts are linked. I don't know. So I just brought it in my room and was like, well, I'll open it up when I do my video. Well, then I got a message from my friend Heather, and she's like, oh, I guess I should have told you I sent you a book from Amazon for your birthday. And I was like, what? So I realized it was that. So I came and opened it, and I was so excited when I saw what it was. And the funny thing was, I literally almost bought this entire series because she talked so highly of it. So I almost bought it with birthday money from Amazon. And now I'm like, okay, when I read this first one, if I love it, I'm going to go ahead and just buy myself the whole series. And then I'll gift this book on to somebody else to try out too. But yeah, because, oh my gosh, I am so excited about this. And she and I are actually going to read it together in June. So I will be sharing about it. It will definitely be on my TBR for June. But yeah, we're going to kind of buddy read it because she wants to reread it. So it is Scythe. And I'm really interested in this because I promised I would break out and try some like fantasy and stuff. You're going to actually see in this haul I got here, I am definitely branching out. So this is book 1. And like I said, it's a series. And it says, thou shalt do this, okay? A world with no hunger, no disease, no war, no misery. Humanity has conquered all those things and has even conquered death. Now scythes are the only ones who can end life, and they are commanded to do so in order to keep the size of the population under control. Citra and Rowan are chosen to apprentice to a scythe, a role that neither wants. These teens must master the art of taking life, knowing that the consequence of failure could mean losing their own. They learn living in a perfect world comes only with a heavy price. And so she told me, because I love the Hunger Games, she's like, if you love the Hunger Games, you will love these books. The Hunger Games was like a YA dystopian fantasy thriller, really. And so this is a very similar thing. And she said, she goes, I cannot tell you the enjoyment I got from these books. And she's like, in my adult life, this has been like my favorite thing I've read. So I'm like, okay, like how can I not want to read that then, right? So this is gonna be so fun to read along with her. So thank you, Heather. And I look forward to sharing about it with you guys. If you've read this, let me know what you thought of it. No spoilers. And we will see what we think. And if I love it as much as she thinks I will, which we have pretty much the same kind of taste in our books, then I'll probably be going on and getting the whole entire series. So we'll find out. But this was such an awesome, totally unexpected birthday gift. I'm so thankful. So thank you, Heather. In saying that, I do also want to say that my sweet cousin Debbie sent me a gift card to Barnes & Noble for my birthday. So I am so excited about that. That will be a video that I'll do probably months from now, because since I've bought a bunch of books right now, I'll wait until I'm ready to, I'm getting the itch to buy some more books, and we will do a little Barnes & Noble shopping together. But she has a channel. She does makeup. She is insane with makeup, you guys. And so if that's something you're interested in too, definitely check her out and tell her I sent you over there from my book channel. I will link her channel down below for you to check out. But her name's Debbie, and her channel's name is Debbie John. And so, yeah. So thank you to Debbie for sending me that Barnes & Noble gift card. That will be so much fun. I will look forward to using that. Next up are a few suspense thrillers, basically, because that's what I love, that I got from Book Outlet. So I will go ahead and just tell you about them. They are The Night We Burned by SF Kosa. I have not been saying the names of the... Well, yes, I did. I just didn't say Neil Schusterman for Scythe. So now you know. Okay, this is by SF Kosa. Dora is always aware of the line between fact and fiction. As a fact checker at an online magazine, her job depends on it. And as a woman outrunning her secrets, so does her life. But when a colleague decides to pursue a story about a unaliving in her hometown, one linked to a deadly fire at a cult compound 20 years prior, all of Dora's carefully spun deceptions are suddenly at risk. If she can't stop the story, her entire life is on the line. As Dora works with her colleague, altering facts to hide her past along the way, she's thrown back into a world she tried desperately to leave behind, one of ritual and belonging, of danger and darkness, a world where two girls promised to help each other through until it all went up in flames. As her lies pile up, so do the unalivings, until Dora realizes she won't be lucky enough to escape twice. This just sounds so good to me. It has good reviews on Goodreads, and so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna nab that. Then I got Sun Damage by Sabine Durant. It says perfect poolside reading. I don't really go to the pool, but it's just, it's summary. And so I was like, let's get a summary book. In a tiny village in Provence, 9 guests arrive at a luxury holiday home. The visitors know one another well, or at least they think they do. The only stranger among them is Lulu, the young woman catering their stay. But Lulu is not exactly the woman on the video the guests thought they'd hired. Turns out, Lulu has plenty to hide and nowhere to run as the heat rises. In this seemingly idyllic getaway, under the scorching sun, loyalties will be tested, secrets exposed, and tensions pushed to the brink. Dripping in intrigue, Sun Damage is a glamorous, witty, and totally riveting story, chock full of secrets, lies, and more lies. So I'm always down for, these people go on vacation, they're friends, but then things start happening, and you start wondering, do I really know these people like I thought I did? Yeah. Now, when I saw this book and I read the synopsis for it, I was like, what? Like, this just, it sounds so fantastic to me. It is A History of Wild Places by Shay Earnshaw. And look at this cover. So, a story about fairy tales, our fear of the dark, and losing yourself within the wilderness of your mind. Hello. How does that not sound good, right? Travis Wren has an unusual talent for locating missing people. Often hired by families as a last resort, he takes on the case of Maggie St. James, a well-known author of macabre children's books, and is soon led to a place many believed to only be a legend. Called Pastoral, this reclusive community was founded in the 1970s by like-minded people searching for a simpler way of life. By all accounts, Pastoral shouldn't exist anymore, and soon after Travis stumbles upon it, he disappears. Just like Maggie St. James. Years later, Theo, a lifelong member of Pastoral, discovers Travis's abandoned truck beyond the border of the community. No one is allowed in or out, not when there's a risk of bringing a disease, the rot, into Pastoral. Unraveling the mystery of what happened reveals secrets that Theo, his wife Kayla, and her sister Bee keep from one another. Secrets that prove their perfect isolated world isn't as safe as they believed, and that darkness takes many forms. Okay, so I love the idea of that there's this community that these people create to be a safe haven and be away from the things of the world, right? And that they kind of nurture in the kids growing up. I mean, we've seen movies like this and stuff, that outside of this place, it's dangerous. You don't want to go there, and we don't want anyone to come in because they'll make us sick and, whatever. But something happens and it starts to unravel this supposed safe haven, because now there's weird things going on and secrets that you're realizing, wait a minute. And so that to me just sounds so intriguing. And so I had to pick up this book. Now, this is the book that cracks me up because I really did not remember that I ordered it. I do remember looking at the whole series. And now that I'm saying that, I think I was looking at the whole series, and at first I was going to get the whole series, but I'm like, maybe you shouldn't do that, because what if you read the first one and you don't like it at all, and then now you've bought all 3 of them? Because I think there's 3. And so, anyway, it's The Inheritance Games. And this is by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I've heard things about this. I've heard that it was pretty good, so that's why I was even interested in it. This is a YA fantasy kind of book, but and that's not something I typically go for. I don't really do anything YA, and so we'll see how I feel about this. But says Avery Grahams has a plan for a better future, survive high school, win a scholarship, and get out. But her luck changes in an instant when billionaire Tobias Hawthorne dies and leaves her virtually his entire fortune. The only catch? Avery must move into a sprawling mansion full of secret passages, riddles, and codes. Unfortunately for Avery, Hawthorne House is also occupied by the family that was just disinherited. This includes the 4 Hawthorne grandsons, dangerous, magnetic boys who grew up with every expectation that one day they would inherit billions. Heir apparent Grayson is convinced that Avery is a con woman, and he's determined to take her down. But his brother Jameson views her as their grandfather's last hurrah, a twisted riddle, a puzzle to be solved. Caught in a world of wealth and privilege, with danger around every turn, Avery will have to play the game herself, just to survive. So definitely has a really cool premise, very interesting, and if it is good, then I will go ahead and pick up the other ones because they seem to be on Book Outlet a lot and for very inexpensive. So I'll keep an eye out for them. If I end up really liking this one, then I'll go ahead and get the whole series and check it out. But we might as well start with this one, right? Yeah. It says she came from nothing. They have everything. Let the games begin. And I am all about like puzzles and riddles and that kind of stuff. And just the idea of like that she's like got this inheritance, but she has no idea why. Like, this sounds really good. Now, here's the type of book that you probably weren't expecting me to. If you've watched my videos, I don't really do romance, but I'm gonna try, okay? And this one I think is romance. I mean, it seems like it. Well, I guess it's women's fiction. I don't know. We'll see, but it is a love story. So I was specifically recommended this book. So again, we'll put their name on the screen and then her channel down below. This is Love in Other Words by Christina Lauren, and I have heard really good things about this book. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna give this one a try. I feel like it would be a really good way to dip my toes in. I was kind of disappointed though when this came and this is what the cover was, because I saw that there was this cover, but I also saw that pink one that's really cute, and that was the one that they showed when I was buying this, and so that's the one I thought I was going to get, and I was excited about it. So when I opened it, I was like, oh, it's this cover, but that's okay. So the story of the heart can never be unwritten. Macy Sorensen is settling into an ambitious, if emotionally tepid, routine. Work hard as a new pediatrics resident, plan her wedding to an older, financially secure man, keep her head down and heart tucked away. But when she runs into Elliot Petropoulos, the first and only love of her life, the careful bubble she's constructed begins to dissolve. Once upon a time, Elliot was Macy's entire world, growing from her gangly, bookish friend into the man who coaxed her heart open again, only to break it on the very night he declared his love for her. Told in alternating timelines between then and now, teenage Elliot and Macy grow from friends to much more, spending weekends and lazy summers together in a house outside of San Francisco, devouring books, sharing favorite words, and talking through their growing pains and triumphs. As adults, they have become strangers to one another until their chance reunion. Although their memories are obscured by the agony of what happened that night so many years ago, Elliot will come to understand the truth behind Macy's decade-long silence and will have to overcome the past and himself to revive her faith in the possibility of an all-consuming love. It does sound good. Okay, I'll admit it. I love romance if it's not corny and it's not spicy. So hopefully it's not too spicy. And it doesn't sound like that's going to be the case. So I guess I will find out, but yeah, I'm going to give this a try. I was also recommended to read something by Alice Feeney. So I did pick this book up from Book Outlet as well. All these books I'm talking about right now are from Book Outlet. So this is Good Bad Girl by Alice Feeney. When bad things happen to good people, sometimes good people have to do bad things. 20 years after a baby is stolen from a stroller, a woman is unalived in a care home. I always do this. Like, I don't know that that's how it happened. So I don't know why. The two crimes are somehow linked, and a good bad girl may be the key to discovering the truth. 4 women must solve a mystery with 3 suspects, 2 unalivings, and 1 victim. If they do, they might just find out what happened to the baby who disappeared, the mother who lost her, and the secret that connects them all. So that sounds good and twisty to me. Maybe twisty is not the right word. I mean, it might be twisty, but I just mean juicy. Like, we've got several different elements happening here, and so it will be an interesting read, I am sure. So thank you for the person who recommended this. Okay, they didn't specifically recommend this book, just an Alice Feeney book. So, okay, these next two books, again, we're just going all sorts of, like, this is not my typical, but I've heard such good things about both of them, and so I'm like, I am just going to do it. So the first is The Dead Romantics by Ashley Poston, and Florence Day is the ghostwriter for one of the most prolific romance authors in the industry, and she has a problem. After a terrible breakup, she no longer believes in love. It's as good as dead. When her new editor, a too handsome mountain of a man, won't give her an extension on her book deadline, Florence prepares to kiss her career goodbye. But then she gets a phone call she never wanted to receive, and she must return home for the first time in a decade to help her family bury her beloved father. For 10 years, she's run from the town that never understood her, and even though she misses the sound of a warm southern night and her eccentric, loving family and their funeral parlor, she can't bring herself to stay. Her father's gone, yet everything else feels the same, and she hates it. Until she finds a ghost standing at the funeral parlor's front door, just as broad and infuriatingly handsome as ever, and he's just as confused about why he's there as she is. Romance is most certainly dead, but so is her new editor, and his unfinished business will have her second-guessing everything she's ever known about love stories. This is just so bizarre, and that's why I'm interested in it, because it has that ghost element. So I feel like even if that makes it corny, it's like intentionally corny as a love story. So I feel like that's like my cop out. So yeah, The Dead Romantic, like I said, I've heard such good things about this, and like, look at this cover. I love this color, the colors. Like, yeah, I think it's gonna be good. I've heard it's really good. And in staying with that theme, I also got The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston, because I've heard fantastic things about this one as well. So I'm like, might as well grab them both, right? Sometimes the worst day of your life happens, and you have to figure out how to live after it. For Clementine West, that means burying her head in her work as a book publicist, being practical, and forgetting the silly things her beloved Aunt Annalie taught her, like living wide and chasing the moon. Clementine would rather stay grounded and keep her heart safe. For the last 6 months, she's done just that. But when she moves into her late aunt's apartment and finds a strange man standing in the kitchen, a man with kind eyes, a southern drawl, and a taste for lemon pies, her well-laid plans begin to fall apart, because he's the type of man who, before it all, she would have fallen head over heels for, and she still might. Except he exists in the past, 7 years in the past to be exact, and she quite literally lives 7 years in his future. Her aunt always said the apartment was a pinch in time, a place where moments blended like watercolors. She also said that love is never a matter of time, but a matter of timing. And Clementine fears she may be 7 years too late. Again, because it's got that weird kind of a twist, I feel like it's my cop out for if it's corny. I think that's my thing with romance. It's either, to me, in my mind, like, going to be corny, or it's going to be super spicy, and I don't want either of those things. Like, I just want a good love story, or I want it to be a little bit, like, weird. So that's why I think The 7-Year Slip and The Dead Romantics could be the ones for me, because they seem like they have that touch of weird, and I'm down with that. Now, something I just noticed when I was reading this, where it says that this man has a taste for lemon pies. The Magic of Lemon Drop Pie. I heard someone talk about this book, and she said it was one of her favorite reads from last year, I think. And maybe it wasn't last year. When did this book come out? Let me just check this out. This is from 2022. I don't know if she said that or if she maybe just read it last year. But Rachel Linden is the author. And this girl was talking about this. And what is her channel's the Hannah Teachers TBR, I think. I'll link her down below. I love watching her. And she just said this book just absolutely melted her. She absolutely loved it. And I was like, okay, that sounds really good. And I'm not gonna lie, the name totally, and the cover, the name and the cover, and her like saying it was so incredibly good. So The Magic of Lemon Drop Pie. But I just thought that was really funny when I read about that this man has a taste for lemon pies, and then I've got The Magic of Lemon Drop Pie right here. Just, it's meant to be. An uplifting novel about a heartbroken young pie maker who is granted a magical second chance to live the life she did not choose, from the best-selling author of The Enlightenment of Bees, which if I like these books, I might have to check that one out. Lolly Blanchard's life only seems to give her lemons. 10 years ago, after her mother's tragic death, she broke up with her first love and abandoned her dream of opening a restaurant in order to keep her family's struggling Seattle diner afloat and care for her younger sister and grieving father. Now, a decade later, she dutifully whips up the diner's famous lemon meringue pies each morning while still pining for all she has lost. As Lolly's 33rd birthday approaches, her quirky great aunt gives her a mysterious gift: 3 lemon drops, each of which allows her to live a single day and a life that might have been hers. What if her mom had not passed away? What if she had opened her own restaurant in England? What if she had not broken up with the only man she has ever loved? Surprising and empowering, each experience helps Lolly let go of her regrets and realize the key to transforming her life lies not in redoing her past, but in having the courage to embrace her present. Okay, yep, that sounds good. That sounds really good. And since this one sounded really good, I thought I might as well go ahead and pick up Recipe for a Charmed Life, also by Rachel Linden. Also has the most incredible cover. Like, look at these covers. These are fantastic. Okay, so this one is American chef Georgia May Jackson has one goal: to run her own restaurant in Paris. After a grueling decade working in Parisian kitchens, she is on the cusp of success. But in one disastrous night, Georgia loses her sous chef position, her French boyfriend, and her sense of taste. I'm not worried about her sous chef or her French boyfriend, but her sense of taste, like, come on, that would be horrific. Wow. Anyway, renowned for her refined palate and daring use of bold flavors to create remarkable dishes, Georgia is devastated to discover her culinary gift has simply vanished. Okay, see, she was feeling the same way I was. When she receives a surprising invitation from her estranged mother, Georgia flees to a small island near Seattle, hoping the visit will help her regain her spark in the kitchen. As she tentatively reconnects with her mom, a free-spirited hippie eager to make up for her past mistakes, Georgia realizes there is something about the enigmatic island she just cannot piece together. Good luck charms start appearing in the oddest places. Her neighbor is a puzzlingly antagonistic and annoyingly handsome oyster farmer, and her mom keeps hinting at a mysterious family legacy. With the clock ticking and time running out to win her dream job in Paris, Georgia begins to unravel some astonishing secrets that make her wonder if the true recipe for a charmed life might look and taste very different than she ever imagined. So these just sound cute and fun. These sound like light reads to me, and since I read so much thriller, suspense, that kind of book, I feel like it's going to be nice to have some of these like light-hearted reads. I think I need to balance it out. I want to be a good, well-rounded reader, okay? So those are going to be fun. Look what I discovered. I was flipping through this and I was looking to see what year this book came out because I knew it was fairly new. And it's 2024, but look what I found. It's a signed copy. And at first I was like, oh, is it actually a signature, or is it like, the digital ones? But nope, it's legit because you can see where it's bled through on the page. So super cool. And this was one I got from Book Outlet. So yay. Speaking of fun, I also really want to get into cozy mysteries because I've been seeing so many really cute ones and I'm like, oh. So these two were very inexpensive on Book Outlet, and there were the first two in a series. So I went ahead and picked them up. They are Cheddar Off Dead and Gone for Gouda. So these are the cheese shop mysteries, and I have heard these talked very highly of. So I think that sounds super fun. And this says, in this fun, cozy series debut, cheesemonger Willa Bauer discovers that her new home in a small Sonoma Valley town is ripe for unaliving. Something here stinks to high heaven, and Willa knows it's not the cheese. So these are going to be cheesy. Oh, they're going to be cheesy. Oh my gosh, Danielle. Anyway, but they're just going to be fun, goofy. Like, that's what I'm looking for. Cheesemonger Willa Bauer is proving that sweet dreams are made of cheese. She opened her very own French-inspired cheese shop, Curds and Whey, in the heart of the Sonoma Valley. The small town of Yarrow Glen is Willa's fresh start, and she's determined to make it a success, starting with a visit from the local food critic. What Willa doesn't know is that this guy never gives a good review, and when he shows up, nothing goes according to plan. She doesn't think the night can get any worse until she finds the critic's dead body with one of her shop's cheese knives. Now a prime suspect, Willa has always believed life's problems can be solved with cheese, but she's never tried to apply it to unaliving. So this sounds cute. And then for Gone for Gouda, Things are going from Gouda to bad to ugly for cheesemonger Willa Bauer and Gone for Gouda. Yarrow Glen's newest cheese shop, Curds and Whey, has a lot on its plate, but cheesemonger Willa Bauer relishes a challenge. There's a float to build for the fall festival, plus the French-inspired cheese shop is playing host to celebrity vegan chef Phoebe Winston. But when photos surface that prove this vegan influencer is, in fact, a carnivore, things crumble faster than any cheese on the market. Phoebe is unalived. Willa's employee, the affable Archie, was the last one to see Phoebe alive and the first person the police suspect. To clear his name, Willa must uncover who's been up to no Gouda. So, just goofy, cute. I am excited to get into some cozy mysteries. Oh, and I didn't even say, Karina Moss is the author of these cheese shop mysteries. My last book from some book outlet hauls, except for those 4 that are on their way, but that I'm going to show you here, is The Memory Collectors by Kim Neville. And this did get, the cover got kind of bent in the backs, so it's kind of a bummer, but it's okay. It'll be okay. So look at this cover though. Like, so beautiful. Love it. I am drawn in by covers. I cannot lie. 2 women haunted by buried secrets, but bound by a shared gift and the power the past holds over our lives. F feels the emotions people leave behind on objects, a gift that she considers a curse as she navigates discarded items and heirlooms charged with others' memories, positive or negative. The harmless ones she sells to scrape together a living, but even that fills her with trepidation. Meanwhile, Harriet hoards thousands of these treasures, making her neighbors sick as the overabundance of heightened emotions starts to seep through her apartment walls. When the 2 meet, Harriet knows that Ev is the only person who can help her make something truly spectacular of her collection. A museum of memory that can heal the emotional wounds many people unconsciously carry around. But Ev's family was destroyed by the darkness lurking in an object that is now wrapping itself around another person, threatening to annihilate what little she has left. So this is definitely a, like fantasy fiction, not fantasy, what am I looking for? It's got a little magical something in it. And it just sounded really good to me. The idea of like that these objects hold, people's memories and good or bad, and like that these people can feel it and whatever. So I don't believe in stuff like that, but I just think it sounds like a fun concept for a book. So I thought, why not check it out? But we'll see if it's worth checking out or not. I'm so excited. I'm getting ready to head to my niece's soccer game, but the mail just came so my last little book outlet haul just came in, so I get to add it into this video to show you guys. So this will be the complete wrap up of all the books that I got for my birthday. So the first one here is actually one I'm going to be doing a book club with some of my girlfriends, actually 4 of my girlfriends, and we decided on The Lost Ticket by Freya Sampson, and it looks so cute, guys. Cute, guys. You guys. That's what I was trying to say. But like, look at this cover. It's so adorable. So when Libby Nichols arrives in London, brokenhearted and with her life in tatters, the first person she meets on the bus is elderly Frank. He tells her about the time in 1962 that he met a girl on the number 88 bus with beautiful red hair, just like hers. They made plans for a date at the National Gallery Art Museum, but Frank lost the bus ticket with her number on it. For the past 60 years, he's ridden the same bus trying to find her, but with no luck. Libby is inspired to action, and with the help of an unlikely companion, she papers the bus route with posters advertising their search. Libby begins to open her guarded heart to new friendships and a budding romance as her tightly controlled world expands. But with Frank's dementia progressing quickly, their chance of finding the girl from the 88 bus is slipping away. More than anything, Libby wants Frank to see his lost love one more time, but their quest also shows Libby just how important it is to embrace her own chances for happiness before it's too late, and a beautifully uplifting novel about how a shared common experience among strangers can transform lives in the most marvelous ways. This just sounded like such a feel-good book. Yeah, there's a sadness element to it because of his dementia and that kind of thing, but how it brings people together and makes them realize, like, don't wait to enjoy things in life. Don't wait to go for the things that are important to you. Pursue them because you don't know how much time you have. And so it just sounded like something that we were all like, oh yeah, this just sounds like it's going to be really uplifting. The reviews for it were fantastic. So I'm very excited to be reading this. So you'll end up seeing this. This is going to be something I read in June. So you'll get the wrap up in July, but you'll hear more about it when I talk about my TBR for June. So there's a fun color scheme going on with these books that I got in this little haul here. I'll show it to you at the end. But so this is The Authenticity Project by Claire Pooley. Julian Jessup, an eccentric, lonely artist, believes that most people aren't really honest with one another. But what if they were? And so he writes in a plain green journal the truth about his own life and leaves it in his local cafe. It's run by the tidy and efficient Monica, who furtively adds her own entry and leaves the book in the coffee bar across the street. Before long, others who discover the green notebook add the truths about their own deepest selves and soon find each other in real life at Monica's cafe. By turns quirky and funny, heartbreaking and true to life, The Authenticity Project is a story about being brave and putting your real self forward and finding out that it's not as scary as it seems. In fact, it looks a lot like happiness. Again, I just thought this sounded like such a feel-good read. Like, what a fun concept. Like, these things that, you know, you like keep back about yourself, but like, what if you wrote them in something and people read them? And so then when they meet you, they already know those things about you, and they're things that maybe like you're kind of self-conscious about or something like that. I'm not talking like deepest, darkest secrets, but you know, just the idea of it just sounds so fun to me. And so I thought this seemed like such a good book. I liked the way that one sounded so much that I found another Claire Pooley book, and this is Iona Iverson's Rules for Commuting. Look how cute the cover is. Every day, Iona, a larger-than-life advice columnist, rides the train to work with her dog, Lulu. Every day, she sees the same people, who she only knows by nickname. Impossibly Pretty Bookworm and Mr. Too Good to Be True. Of course, they never speak. Seasoned commuters never do. Then one morning, the man she calls smart but sexiest man-spreader chokes on a grape right in front of her. He'd have died were it not for the timely intervention of Sanjay, a nurse, who gives him the Heimlich maneuver. This single event starts a chain reaction, and an eclectic group of people discovers that talking to strangers can teach you quite a bit about the world around you, and even more about yourself. Again, like, what a great idea. I'm very excited about these two books. Like, they just, well, all three that I've talked about so far, they just sound like such feel-good stories, and like, yeah, just things about yourself and just being human. Like we all are flawed and messy and have stuff, and like, why do we try to hide it? Like, that's real life. And when you are open with other people, it just creates a whole new world for you. Like, it allows them to be open and real with you, and it's just it's the best. I'm excited about these books, can you tell? And then the last one is The Book of Silver Linings. Oh, and this is by Nan Fisher. Constance Sparks always says yes when her capricious best friend needs money, when her boss gives her more responsibility without a raise, and when her boyfriend Hayden, who is very kind but also secretive, asks her to marry him. While planning their wedding and struggling with anxiety about the right course for her future, Constance researches the history of her antique engagement ring and unearths the name of a man who might be connected to it, plus his tragic love story. When she finds a book of letters in her library's old manuscript section written by the long-dead man, Constance is deeply touched by his words and leaves a note for him confessing her uncertainty and doubts. She's shocked days later to find a response tucked among the pages. As the notes continue to arrive, Constance finds herself quickly falling in love with a ghost and putting her real-life relationship in jeopardy. Will a bond based on letters impossibly sent from the past derail her future? Or will Constance discover her voice and risk everything for the chance to somehow connect with her true soulmate? What? This just sounds so weird to me, because I'm like, okay, is it actually a ghost, or is there a person who's communicating back and forth? That's going to be my guess, is that there's an actual person who discovers that she wrote this note in here and answers it back, and so it's going back and forth who that person is. I don't know. Maybe it's Hayden. Maybe it's her fiance. I will find out when I read it. But it just sounded like a really interesting, sweet read. So these, look at these. Like, look at the color scheme going on here. It's bright. It's fun, and I'm excited about these books. And I just wanted to say right here too, I will not be buying books for a while. I know this is an obnoxious amount of books. I'm going to be done for a while. Aside from, there's a little caveat, always. If I'm doing this book club with my girlfriends, I might be getting books that I don't already have. Like, you know, I mean, if something comes up and we decide to read one of the ones I already have, awesome. But otherwise, I will probably be getting that, you know, a book here and there for that. And I'm starting one with my best friend. So there's a chance that I might be getting a book here or there, but I'm not going to be doing like crazy hauls like I just did this one. But I am going to be doing a little free library tour kind of thing, and we'll see. Maybe I'll come home with books there. So there will be times that I'm coming home with books. But as far as like these book outlet hauls, girl, I need to chill out. Okay, back to the video. And the last thing I have is from Amazon. I'm going to open it up. Now, this book was a recommendation from one of my absolute best friends in real life that I see all the time. I actually just saw her today. And that is my friend Jenny. She is my soul sister. Our word is joy. We buy each other things that say joy all the time. Like, we are just, we're best buds. What can I say? And she recommended this book, and when I read what it was about, I was like, oh my gosh, this sounds so amazing. So I definitely used birthday money to get this book. And she got me a super cute, for my birthday, she got me a grandma sweatshirt because I just became a grandma in March, and it was cute one. She's like, I can't look like an old lady one. It has to be cute and bright and colorful like you. And so I'm just so thankful for awesome friends. And so this book is Once Upon a Wardrobe by Patty Callahan. And this book, if you have not read The Chronicles of Narnia by C.S. Lewis, then this book will probably mean nothing to you. I highly recommend that you read The Chronicles of Narnia by C.S. Lewis because it's amazing. And so this is a little kind of a play on that. So Meg's Devonshire sets out to fulfill her younger brother George's last wish by uncovering the truth behind his favorite story. The answer provides hope and healing and a magical journey for anyone whose life has ever been changed by a book. 1950. Margaret Devonshire, Megs, is a 17-year-old student of mathematics and physics at Oxford University. When her beloved 8-year-old brother asks Megs if Narnia is real, logical Megs tells him it's just a book for children, and certainly not true. Homebound due to his illness and remaining fixated on his favorite books, George presses her to ask the author of the recently released novel, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, a question. Where did Narnia come from? Despite her fear about approaching the famous author, who is a professor at her school, Meg soon finds herself taking tea with C.S. Lewis and his own brother, Warnie, begging them for answers. Rather than directly telling her where Narnia came from, Lewis encourages Megs to form her own conclusion as he slowly tells her the little-known stories from his own life that led to his inspiration. As she takes these stories home to George, the little boy travels farther in his imagination than he ever could in real life. Lewis's answers will reveal to Megs and her family many truths that science and math cannot, and the gift she thought she was giving to her brother, the story behind Narnia, turns out to be his gift to her instead. Hope. And I just, oh my gosh, I just think this sounds so amazing. That's why I wanted to save it for the last book that I showed, because this is the one that is the most like, I just know it's going to be so good. And I love The Chronicles of Narnia so much, and just everything they represent. I found myself just smiling as I was reading the imagery and knowing what he's talking about. And yeah, that it was just, even though it was written for children, it means so much to an adult who can really realize what he's saying, you know. And so I think this book is just going to be such an amazing addition to that. And so thank you, Jenny, for recommending this, and I look so forward to reading it and then talking to you about it. I'd love to have a little discussion. So that is my book haul for my birthday. It was quite large. I didn't even count how many. Let's see. So I showed you 19 books here. 19 books. And then, like I said, there's 4 more on the way. So one of them, though, I ordered because I'm starting a book club with my friends. So that's something I'll be talking about later. But yeah, so I'm so thankful for the money gifts that I was given for my birthday from family, and that I was able to buy these books and add them to my collection, and I cannot wait to get into them. There's so many good books to get into. And so I hope you guys enjoyed watching this. Let me know what you think of what I got. What do you think I should add to one of my TBRs first? Because I think I'm definitely going to be picking at least one of these for, well, I know I'm going to be reading Scythe, but maybe another one too. So you guys vote. Let me know down below the one you think I should read, definitely for sure, in June. And I'll see what gets the most votes. All right, thank you guys so much. I hope you enjoyed this. I enjoyed sharing it with you, and I will talk to you again very soon. Bye.